To overcome this limitation of having enough fuel for space travel, NASA and Musk's company SpaceX revealed a revolutionary method of propulsion that keeps rockets going forever and forever into deep space. What is this propulsion? How does it work? And how does it affect you? Join us to explore how NASA and SpaceX have finally revealed the near-speed light engine. If you're a sci-fi fan, you'd have seen space movies where the rocket keeps going and going. While much of the film is focused on the conflict between the characters, nothing is usually said about how the rocket is powered. But of course, that is the creative freedom movie makers enjoy. This allows them to make hit movies that entertain us. However, people that actually send rockets to space will tell you is not always a bed of roses out there. One sci-fi fan is Musk, the CEO of space exploration company SpaceX. The billionaire has the rare privilege of living out his space dreams unlike the rest of us. That is why you will see terms lifted from sci-fi in some of the real-life products that he built. One example is the Mechazilla that he says will grab rocket boosters midair. However audacious the scheme is, even Musk himself admitted it could fail spectacularly. The illustrious inventor actually derived the name from the Mecha-Godzilla, a character from the popular Godzilla film franchise. Musk too wants to cruise people through space. He shares with NASA. Musk intends to prepare humanity to escape possible catastrophic galactic accidents that could wipe out humanity entirely from the Earth. While you may cringe at the possibility, I would rather not consider it. Musk is a practical man and wants to preserve as much as a slice of humanity as possible in the face of such disasters. If there's a super intelligent, particularly if it's engaged in recursive self-improvement, and its optimization or utility function is something that's detrimental to humanity, then it will have a very bad effect. That could be just something like getting rid of spam, email or something, and its like includes, well, the best way to get over spam is to get rid of humans. This is why Musk wants to set up a human outpost on other planets. The motivation is strong enough that Musk is building what will be the most powerful rocket in history when it is ready. Musk plans to transport at least 1 million people from Earth to planet Mars within a short time, so the community can become self-sufficient, far removed from Earth. The new colony will not be affected by any disaster people that refuse to leave or will face. NASA wants to send people to Mars too, although on a far smaller scale. The agency plans to send its astronauts to the Red Planet. Eventually, different probes have explored the planet, expanding our knowledge of the planet with high-resolution pictures of diverse landscapes on Mars. NASA's rovers have been joined by a similar explorer by China, and may welcome Saudi Arabia's effort to. However, nothing beats having boots on the ground, as NASA has done on the Moon. In fact, NASA is working with SpaceX to resume regular missions to the Moon and build bases there. Interestingly, NASA has admitted the missions to the Moon will be a dress rehearsal for missions to Mars. The agency will take any lessons learned on the Moon and apply them to Mars. The purpose is to hopefully find the purpose and origin of life, starting with trying to determine if there is life on Mars. Both NASA and SpaceX are banking on the Starship to take their humans to Mars, with what is essentially a trial run taking place when NASA uses the Starship to put his astronauts on the Moon. However, the two entities have their eyes set on other planets and planetary bodies that are beyond Mars. NASA wants to send missions to Jupiter and its moons. However, one problem both NASA and SpaceX have to solve is distance. Anywhere you are going to in space is far. The universe exists on such a large scale that moving from one planet to another involves millions of miles. For example, the trip to Mars that Musk is planning can take up to 6 months when it takes advantage of the best launch window. Better still, the closest star to Earth is Proxima Centauri. It is about 4.25 light-years away, or about 25 trillion miles, or 40 trillion kilometers. The fastest ever spacecraft, the now in space Parker Solar Probe, will reach a top speed of 450,000 miles per hour. It would take just 20 seconds to go from Los Angeles to New York City at that speed, but it would take the solar probe about 6,633 years to reach Earth's nearest neighboring solar system. To make the travel times as short as possible, it is preferable that we can move from one place to another at or near the speed of light. Apart from the time limitation, spacecraft can only carry a limited amount of fuel, and you will have the fuel you take with you from the Earth. Because there are no filling stations out there in space, the fuel is a serious consideration, because as Musk himself admits, the spacecraft won't have enough propellant to go anywhere after escaping the Earth's gravitational pull. Even the Starship needs to be refueled before setting out for Mars. To engineer around the problem of sufficient fuel, scientists and engineers have attempted many propulsion methods. One method of propulsion NASA is exploring is ion propulsion. Ion thrusters are being designed for a wide variety of missions, from keeping communications satellites in the proper position or station keeping to propelling spacecraft throughout our solar system. These thrusters have high specific impulses, that is the ratio of thrust to the rate of propellant consumption. So they require significantly less propellant for a given mission than would be needed with chemical propulsion. Is even considered to be mission enabling for some cases where sufficient chemical propellant cannot be carried on the spacecraft to accomplish the desired mission. The primary parts of an ion propulsion system are the Ion Thruster Power Processing Unit (PPU), Propellant Management System (PMS), and Digital Control and Interface Unit (DCIU). Ion thrusters based on NASA designs and are being used to keep over 100 geosynchronous Earth orbit communication satellites in their desired locations. And 3 N-Star ion thrusters that utilize a Glenn-developed technology are enabling the Dawn spacecraft to travel deep into our solar system. Another method is solar sails. The idea of sailing through space has been around for years. In fact, NASA considered solar sails in the 1970s as a potential propulsion system. However, lightweight technologies such as sails were not mature enough at that time. The mission was deemed unfeasible. Solar sail propulsion uses sunlight to propel vehicles through space. The next method of propulsion will be familiar to Star Trek fans. It is the warp drive technology. The idea is a starship is propelled by compressing the space in front of it, while expanding space-time behind it. You might think the idea would never make it out of sci-fi movies, but a notable scientist, Miguel Qbr, he showed us is mathematically possible within the laws of general relativity. However, you are correct that it will never happen in reality, because the process requires a lot of matter. Now Qbr himself estimated that warp drive with a 100-meter bubble would require the mass of the entire visible universe. The next propulsion method is the most controversial on the list, which is why we have saved it for the last. It is the EnDrive, which seems to break the laws of physics. There's reason to sometimes called the impossible drive. The EnDrive, invented by Roger Shire around the turn of the century, involves a large tapered metal cylinder closed at both ends. Microwaves generated inside the cylinder and bounced back and forth, producing propulsion. Simplicity is what experts find hard to accept. This method uses no propellant, meaning it violates a bunch of physical laws like the conservation of momentum. As Spacetime puts it, is a bit like trying to make a car go forward by sitting in the driver's seat and pushing on the windshield. But the inability of scientists to explain the process does not mean it won't work. Perhaps explanations for how the EnDrive could possibly won't go past the boundaries of known physics. Maybe it's somehow interacting with the quantum vacuum energy of spacetime. That's at the end of the video. Hope you like this video, plus thank you for spending some time with us, and please let us know in the comments section below about the video. A gentle reminder: subscribe to our channel for more content just like this one, and also press the bell icon to get notified about our new uploads.